Come.
Hello and welcome to Storytime at 9. To the first country that we are traveling to in 2021 happens to be the country of Iceland that I talked about last time. The country which I said, is remarkable for the way it celebrates New Year with everyone participating. And we'll get to know that, of course, today. And we have today one of the finest storytellers from Iceland, Ingibjörg Ásdís Sveinsdóttir. I think I got your name right.
Yes.
Okay, good. In fact, some children have written, Priyanka was writing that it's so difficult to pronounce. So,
yes,
but we can call her Imma,
Yeah.
the way we say Amma. Amma, Imma is, in many parts of India, mother is called Amma. Okay. Like mama,
Amma, grandmother, and
Amma. Yeah, in some parts. So you are Imma.
yeah.
So, okay. So very happy to have you, Imma, on this show today with us.
Thanks for having me.
And children, I was just telling Imma a little while ago before the show started that how someone commented. Now, most of you are in Orissa. Of course, there are some of you who are in other parts of India. In Orissa now, it's very warm. And someone yesterday actually commented that it seems like winter has gone for a summer vacation. And there, Imma and her friend said, normally in Iceland, summer goes for a winter vacation. So that's how it is interesting for her. We are lucky that we caught her at a time when it is sunlight there. Apparently, it's only 4 hours of sunlight in a day right now, between 12 to 4. So she'll tell us more about that. But I just want you to remind you that I hope all of you know that, of course, after Imma tells us the stories, her wonderful stories, and she had cautioned you that before coming for the storytelling, you need to be brave.
Yes.
I hope all of you are brave and prepared for all the frightening stories that she's going to tell you. Right? So
Yes.
I hope all of you also will be there tomorrow for Ravibar Gopabar. And tomorrow's storyteller is Lopamudra Mahanti. Many of you might have seen her video. Her video ended up being the most popular on YouTube in our Ravibar Gopabar series. So she is back again tomorrow. And then, of course, next Saturday is again a very special Saturday. We are having an awesome storyteller who is an African American. Okay. And the next Saturday is close to Martin Luther King Day in the United States, a very important day in the United States. And we'll talk more about that. But I told you about a new library that has come up. Well, it's not inaugurated yet, but that's in the Biju Patnaik Park of Bhubaneswar. Let's see a little video, which is a teaser. The library will be inaugurated very shortly. Let's see the video before we get on with the storytelling. So this is the library inside Biju Patnaik Park in Bhubaneswar. As I said, it's not started yet. Coming soon. This is in collaboration with the BDA, which maintains the park, which has given us the space, and we have developed it as a library. So I hope you'll go there. Now, some of you have asked where the main library where I'm sitting, that's the Bakul Library in Satyanagar. So if you do go on Google Maps, you'll find the Bakul Library in Satyanagar. Right. But now, over to Imma and her stories. Imma, over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to tell you 2 stories from Iceland. And they're a bit scary, as I told you, and I hope you are brave. First, I will tell you a story of mystical creatures. So, here I go. Once upon a time, there was a king, Danish king, who was called Harald Bluetooth. Now, Harald Bluetooth wanted to be a big king. So, he called his advisor, and who was also a sorcerer, and said to him, I want to be a big king, and I want to be a big king now. You will go to Iceland, and you will find the best place to invade. And you will go now. And the advisor said, what a good idea. What a clever king you are. I will go immediately. But then he thought, how am I supposed to spy on Iceland? How will I go there undetected? Aha, I will turn myself into a polar bear. Yes, that is what I will do. But no, then I have to find an iceberg and float over there. That would take too much time. I will turn myself into a bird. Yes, that's a very good idea. But no, that's not a good idea. I'm afraid of heights. Yeah, that's a terrible idea. I will turn myself into a fish. But then I could be eaten on the way. I know. What a clever sorcerer I am. I will turn myself into a big whale. Yes, that is what I will do. And the sorcerer turned himself into a big whale and swam towards Iceland. First he came to the eastern part of the country, and there he found a fjord, which is called Vopnafjörður, Weapon Fjord. And he liked it very much. Yes. This will do very nicely. This is the perfect spot. Here it is. But when he swam towards the shore, he could see a creature rising up, covered with scales, and had sharp claws and sharp teeth, and it had a fiery breath, and it was hissing and spitting poison at him. Now what creature could that be? With scales, sharp claws, sharp teeth, fiery breath. Yes, it was a dragon. And the dragon said, you shall not pass. What? No, said the whale. I wouldn't dream of it. I am going now. I bid you good day, sir. And the whale swam again towards the ocean and went to the northern part of the country. There he came to Eyjafjörður, which means island fjord. He liked it very much. Yes. This is a wonderful place to invade. Yes. But when he swam near to the shore, he could see something coming over the horizon. It had sharp claws and sharp beak and big, big wings that touched the mountain on both sides of the fjord. Now, what creature could that be? With big wings, sharp claws, and sharp beak. An eagle. And it said, "You shall not pass." Oh, no, of course not. I will definitely not pass. I will just turn around very, very slowly and go back to the ocean. And that is what he did. Next, he came to the western part of the country. There he found a fjord, which is called Breiðafjörður and means wide fjord. And this was just very nice. Yeah, this is a very nice fjord. Yeah, this is do very, very nicely. Yeah, okay, this is the spot. But when he came near the shore, can you guess what happened? Yes, he saw a creature. It was big and black, and it had big horns and long tail and red eyes and red nostrils. And it bellowed wildly like this. What creature could that be? A bull. And it said, "You shall not pass." No. I wouldn't dream of it. I'm just swimming in circles, enjoying the view. And now I will just swim away and enjoy it elsewhere. Bye-bye. Next, the whale came to the southern part of the country. There he came to a place called Víkurskeið, which means something about a bay. And there he found a perfect place for invasion. Oh, just marvelous. This is a perfect spot. Yes. Oh, how my king will be happy. But when he came nearer, the same thing happened again. He saw a creature rising up higher and higher and higher until it seemed to reach the sky. And he had a long hair and long beard, and he had a big iron staff. And when he slammed it down into the ground, the earth shook. Now what kind of creature could that be? Yes, it was a giant, a big mountain giant. And can you guess what it said? Can you say it with me? Are you ready? You will not pass! No, I will not. Certainly not. You Icelanders are just so sensitive. I'm just going away now. Bye-bye. You won't see me anymore. In fact, you don't see me now. Forget about me. And the whale swam out into the ocean, and it didn't stop until it came to Denmark. There, the sorcerer turned himself into a man again and ran to his king and said, "You will not invade Iceland. You will just not invade Iceland. Forget about it, because Iceland is protected. Yes, I will certainly never return." And the king, though he was not happy about it, he decided to invade Norway instead. After this, the Icelanders named these creatures Landvætti, which are the protectors of Iceland. And because they are our protectors, we put them on our coat of arms. There you can see them. The eagle, no, not the eagle, the dragon, the eagle, the bull, and the giant. Here you can see the eastern part where the dragon protects. And here is the northern part where the eagle is, the west part where the bull is, where I am from, and the south part where the giant is. We also have these landvættir, our protectors, on our coins, our krona. Can you see them? No, I probably would need my glasses, but I think you can see. Oh, okay. No, I can't see it. I hope you can. Well, that was the first story. I hope you're not so afraid, because the next story is much more frightening. Are you ready? Yeah, this is a story about the frightening trolls. Okay. Once upon a time, there was an old couple who lived on a small farm with their son and one cow. The cow was a very good cow. It milked a lot, so the old couple could make butter, cream, cheese, and skyr, which is like a very, very sour yogurt. They had a son also, I did mention that, yeah. But they didn't love him as much because they thought that he was just lazy. He never did anything except dancing or singing or telling Búkolla some stories. But one terrible day, Búkolla went missing. The old couple woke their son and said, Búkolla's missing, Búkolla's missing. You have to go and search for her, find her, and bring our Búkolla back. And if you can't find her, don't bother coming back. The son was happy to go and search for Búkolla. She was his best friend. And he said, no problem, I will go immediately. But maybe I could have some food and new shoes. And when he had gotten some dry, stale bread and new shoes, he started his journey. He ran and he ran, and he looked high, he looked low, he looked there, here, and everywhere, but there was no Búkolla to be found. He got so very, very tired running all over the place. Oh, and he sat down, he took a sip from a mountain spring and ate a little stale bread. And he thought, now I have been looking for such a long time. Where can Búkolla be? Then he had an idea. Aha, I will call to her, and if she hears my call, she will hopefully answer. So he called. Deo, Deo. This is the echo. Deo, Deo. Can you be the echo also? Call my moo, my Búkolla, if you can hear me. Deo, 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 Deo. Moo, my Búkolla, if you can hear my call. And then he heard a sound so low, so far away. Yes. Oh, wow, it's Búkolla. The boy jumped up. I'm coming, my Búkolla, I'm coming. And then he began running in the direction that he had heard the sound from. And he ran and he ran and he ran. And he looked high and he looked low and he looked here and there and everywhere. But there was no Búkolla to be found. Finally, he was so tired, and his feet were aching from the new shoes. He sat down and he rubbed his feet, and he thought, I have just been looking everywhere. Maybe I should try calling her again. Yes, that is what I will do. And he called, Deo, 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 Deo. Moo my Búkolla if you can hear me. Deo, 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 Deo. Moo my Búkolla if you can hear my call. And then he heard much nearer, much clearer, a sound. Moo! Oh, the boy was overjoyed. He jumped up and he ran ahead. Now I'm coming, Búkolla. I'm coming to find you, to save you. He ran until he almost ran off a cliff. Oh my God. He just... In front of him, there was the ocean. Blue ocean as far as he could see. No Búkolla. Now where can she be? I've been searching high and low and everywhere, and this is where the sound came from. This is hopeless. He sat down, and then he said, I'd better call once again. It can't harm. So he called, Deo, 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 Deo. Moo my Búkolla if you can hear me. Deo, 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 Deo. Moo my Búkolla if you can hear my call. And then he heard it quite near. It was moo. He was so happy. But then he realized the sound came from beneath him. What? Búkolla! Are you down in the ground? How can that be? How am I supposed to save you from there? But then he had an idea. He climbed down the cliff, and there he found a big and dark cave. But he was not scared. He was so happy. He ran inside, and there was Búkolla. Oh, he was so happy. And he gave her a big hug and a big kiss because there was no COVID. And then he untied her, and they went outside and started on their way home. Now, they had not gone very far when they heard footsteps. Yes, they were heavy footsteps. They were boom, 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 boom. Can you do it with me? Boom, 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 boom. And then also a little lighter footsteps like this. Can you do that also? And then he heard a call. It was, hey ho, correro, correro. This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you. Hey ho, correro, correro. This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you now. Oh, my Búkolla, said the boy. There are 2 trolls chasing us, and they will gain up on us very quickly. What are we supposed to do? And then, much to his surprise, Búkolla spoke. She said, Taktu hár úr hala mínum og legðu það á jörðina. Except that she said it more cow-like, like, Moo! Taktu hár úr hala mínum og legðu það á jörðina. This means, take a hair from my tail and put it on the ground. And that is what the boy did. And immediately it turned into an enormous lake that no one could cross except for the bird on a wing. But do you think the trolls gave up? No, not so easily. The big troll said, "Little troll, go home and get the big bull."
Oh no,
said the little troll.
it is so very big and strong and also very grumpy. It will not want to come with me.
But she went home, and she was right. The bull was big and strong and very grumpy. So we will have to help the little troll pulling it, until they reached the water. And the bull began drinking it all up in big long slurps like this. Can you do that? Until there was no water anymore. Aha! The boy was very happy. He thought he was safe. But now he heard the footsteps. First the heavy, then the lighter. Are you ready? Boom! 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 And then the terrifying call. Hey ho! Hey ho! Corridor! Corridor! This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you. Hey ho! Hey ho! Corridor! Corridor! This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you now. No, Bukata, no. They are there, chasing us again. What can we do? What can we do? And Búkolla said, taktu hár úr hala mínu og legðu það á jörðina. Can you remember what it means? It means take a hair from my tail and put it on the ground. And that is what the boy did. And immediately the hair turned into this terrible, enormous fire that nobody could cross except for the bird on the wing. But did the trolls give up? No, they did not. The big troll said, "Little troll, go home and fetch the big bull again."
Oh no, now it will be big and strong and not grumpy. It will be very, very angry.
But she ran home, and she was right. The bull was big and strong and very, very angry. Didn't want to go. So we will have to help her pulling it. Finally, they came to the fire. And do you know what the bull did? It peed on the fire. Yes. It peed all the water that he had drunk. It peed and it peed, and it sounded like this. Maybe you can help. Psss, 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 psss. Until there was no fire anymore. The boy was a bit worried, but also, we are safe now. But of course not. Soon he could hear the footsteps. Are you ready? boom, 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 and the lighter ones. And the terrifying call. Hey-ho, hey-ho, corridor, corridor. This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you. Hey-ho, hey-ho, corridor, corridor. This will not do, 'cause we're gonna get you now. Oh, Bukata, Bukata. What can we do? What can we do? And can you remember what Bukata says? Maybe you can say it with me. Taktu hár úr hala mínum og legðu það á jörðina. Piece of cake. And when the boy put the hair on the ground, it immediately turned into this big, big mountain that nobody could cross except, yes, the bird on the wing. Now the trolls gave up, don't you think? No, of course not. The big troll said, "Little troll, go home and fetch the big drill."
The big drill? Do you know how heavy it is? Do you know how tired I am?
Go! So the little troll went home, found the big drill, and it was very big and very heavy. So we will have to hold it with her. I hope you're very strong and you're not tired. And we will have to hold the drill and bring it all the way to the big mountain. When they came to the big mountain, the big troll took the drill and began drilling the mountain. Now, it's very hard to drill, and to drill through a mountain, it's just impossible. So we have to help her. So here it goes. Rum, 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 rum. Little troll, can you see through the mountain?
The little troll said, No, nothing yet.
Okay, then we will drill some more. Are you ready? Rum, 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 rum. Little troll, can you see something now? And the little troll said,
No, nothing at all.
Oh, we will have to drill some more. Rum, 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 rum. Little troll, can you see something now?
Yes, I can see the little boy and the cow. They're almost home.
And the big troll got so excited that she started to squeeze into the hole. Squeeze through the mountain. But then, squeeze. She was stuck. Pull, little troll, pull. And the little troll, no, she didn't pull, she pushed. Pushed and pushed. But there was no use. The big troll was stuck in the mountain. The head on one side of the mountain and the legs on another side. And if you come to Iceland, maybe you can see her. But what happened to the boy and Bukata? Well, they came home, and the old couple was so happy that they milked Bukata, of course, and they gave the boy waffles with jam and cream and cheese and cream and butter and cream and skyr, and there were celebrations for many days. Well, Many like to know what happened to the little troll. That is something that you will decide. Did the little troll also turn into a stone? I forgot to tell you why it turned into a stone. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that is the most important part in the story. Aha. When the big troll was stuck in the mountain, the sun came up. And everyone in Iceland knows that when the sun comes up, trolls turn into stone. So now you know this important part. But the little troll, did it turn into stone also? Many feel sorry for the little troll, and they say that she was so little and quick that she could hide in a little cave in the mountain until it was dark again. I hope so. I liked her. But now I will finish the story like we finish stories in Iceland. Köttur út í mýri, sett upp á sig stýri, úti ævintýri, which translates roughly, cat on the trail, put up its tail, end of fairy tale. Are you okay? Are you very, very scared?
Wow! End of the fairy tale. Cat on the, what was it?
Cat on a trail, put
Cat
up
on a trail,
put up its tail,
put
and-
up its tail, end of fairy tale. Okay,
Yes.
nice. Wonderful. I hope.
Were you scared?
No.
No, you are very brave.
I just ran away. And
Okay.
then came back.
That is a solution also.
So you know what? The trolls can't survive in our part of the country. We have a
No.
lot of sun. They'll all be stone all the time. They'll all be stone only.
It's much easier for the trolls in wintertime. Summertime can be very dangerous for them.
You know, Imma, we were talking about India and you were mentioning the Indian dance. So there are a lot of dance sculptures on the temples, and they say that those are frozen. It is frozen. Architecture is frozen dance. That it's frozen in time. And when dancers dance, they do it as if the stone has come into life.
Wow, that's nice.
So they have all those gestures and all on the temples in the architecture. So they try to use those elements, and they say that now the stone has come into motion, has come into life.
That's a very nice idea. Very nice story there.
Yes,
I want to show you also the background. This is, of course, trolls that have been turned into stone. My preschool students drew them for me last week, and I think they're just amazing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful indeed. And children, I'm sure you love the stories. I could see your comments, but you know what you have to do. If you love the stories, you are supposed to share it with others, right? You're supposed to share the video. So I hope you do that. I don't think you're doing it enough. I don't see many of your friends are not joining the storytelling. I know you are. You are like the pillars, the regulars, but many of your friends who were there earlier do not seem to. Maybe they're seeing it later, but not for the live show. So please share the videos. I'm sure you've subscribed to the YouTube channel and liked the Facebook page. If you've not, please do it. Please ask all your friends to join, right? Because it's such wonderful stories. I mean, I really hope that all your friends who are missing out should see them as well. By the way, when you come when the Satyanagar library where I'm sitting, when it reopens, you can see some wonderful books like this, the Book of Norse Myths, and the illustrations beautiful. I love them. So where the stories that Ima is talking about, many of those Scandinavian legends, they're all there. You can come and see them, in these beautiful books. There's another book also I was seeing of Scandinavian mythology that you can check out when you come. So, and of course, there are books on Icelandic sagas. But let's hear more about trolls turning into stone and all of that, more about the culture of Iceland. And then some of you have been, so one of the questions that has been coming up, Imma, is how did the echo happen? Did you use a device? Priyanshi has been going on asking about that. But we'll come back to the questions and answers. No, not now.
No.
We'll come back to the questions and answers, but let us hear about Iceland from you first.
Yes.
So if you can share your presentation and tell.
Okay, share screen.
Screen.
Oh,
And then, oops.
Hvað?
Bíddu, leyfðu.
Já.
Já.
Ok.
Og svo var það...
Græna. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Well, I will just hope so.
Yes, yes.
Okay. This is me, Ingibjörg Ásdís Sveinsdóttir, Imma for short. And this is my dog, my Tessie. And she is a very peculiar dog. I will not discuss that further. Okay. Here you have Iceland. As you can see, Iceland is an island and it is very near to Greenland. It has sometimes been mentioned that it would make more sense that these countries would swap names. So, what do you think? This is Reykjavik, our capital. It is not a big city, but most of Icelanders live there. As you can see, the population is only a fragment of the population in India. Here you see our flag with its colors: blue for the mountains, white for the glaciers. Glacier is a place where the ice never melts, and red for the volcanoes. Here you can see some examples of Icelandic nature. To the left, at the top, there is Sprengisandur. It is the largest desert in Northern Europe, but it is a stone desert, not a sand desert. At the top, on your right, there is a cave. We have a lot of impressive caves in Iceland, and this one is under Vatnajökull, which is our biggest glacier. Below the cave, you can see Gullfoss. Gullfoss means golden waterfall and is our most famous waterfall. But we have a lot of beautiful waterfalls in Iceland. And last but not least, at the bottom on your left, you can see Geysir. And Geysir is a spouting hot spring. We have a lot of them, but Geysir is the most famous. It used to be the highest in the world and went 60 meters up in the air. And therefore, Geysir gave its name to other spouting hot springs in the world. So, here you have the Eyjafjallajökull, or roughly translating Island Mountains Glacier. Simple. This is the volcano that stopped the world. The volcano is under the glacier Vatnajökull, and therefore it spouted ash cloud high up in the atmosphere. The lava particles in the cloud were so small that they entered the engines of the airplanes and they could not fly. Many have tried to pronounce its name, but failed. So now I will teach you how. Are you ready? Eyjafjallajökull. You got it? Shall we try again? Eyjafjallajökull. I'm sure you got it. Then to the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights are one of the reasons that people want to visit Iceland. But if you want to see them, you have to come in winter and look for them late in the evening when the weather is cold and not too many electronic lights are around. I am so lucky to live by the sea, so I can see the Northern Lights from my window. I grew up in the country where we didn't have many fireworks, so I have always been fascinated with them. Now that I live in the city, I can see magnificent firework display in every direction in my house on New Year's Eve. The sale of fireworks is the main fundraiser for our rescue teams that are always very busy. The average of rescue operations per year is 1,200. It is because of the bad and unpredictable weather in Iceland. So people get in trouble, and many tourists don't realize how dangerous Icelandic nature can be. I had, for example, once the experience of being in a truck that almost went down a crack in a glacier. Yes, it was a bit frightening. Christmas in Iceland. We decorate our houses before Christmas with Christmas lights to light up the darkness. And our main celebrations are on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day. The Christmas trolls, which you can see here, the bunch of them, are our versions of the Santa Claus. These mischievous boys used to steal and tease people, but now they bring the children presents while they sleep, the last 13 days before Christmas, one at a time. One Christmas troll for one day. And for many children, that is the most exciting thing about Christmas. On the photo below, you can see a terrifying couple. These are Grýla and Leppalúði. They are the parents of the Christmas trolls. Leppalúði is quite harmless. He is just lazy, but Grýla, she is a bit terrifying. She takes all the naughty children, puts them in a big sack, carries them to her cave, and there she eats them. But now, today, we believe that Grýla has become a vegetarian. Maybe you know about the Vikings that terrified many nations in the world because of their fierce character as they went about killing and robbing when they sailed to other countries. It is said that one Viking, Leifur Heppni, or Leifur the Lucky, was the one that found America long before Columbus. The Icelandic sagas are famous for being written back in the 13th century and are preserved to this day. It is also remarkable that our language has changed so little that we can still read them. The Icelandic nation have always considered themselves with pride to be a literary nation because of the sagas. Here you can see the Viking gods that have now become quite famous, though we do not always agree with the movies. Here on the right you can see Thor, or Thor, with his famous hammer, Mjolnir, and Odin on the left with his ravens who spied for him. The raven is a bird that many Icelanders love and hate. It is believed to be wise and mystical, and it appears in many folktales and folk songs. I would like to give you a little example of a song about the raven, or krummi, that every child in Iceland knows. So, here it goes. Krummi svaf í klettagjá, kaldri vetrar nóttu á, verður... Verður hvað?
Martha May.
Oh, yeah, I will start again. Okay. Yeah, I will get rid of the glasses now. That was too constant. Okay. Maybe you can do this with me. Krummi svaf í klettagjá, kaldri vetrar nóttu á, verður margt að meini, verður margt að meini. Okay. More about the raven. Yeah. Did I say that every child in Iceland knows this song? The raven is one of the birds that stays in Iceland the whole year, but we also have many birds that stay here only in the summer. We are very fond of our birds because we have so very few land mammals that are wild. As you can see, it's the fox, it's the mouse, and it's the reindeer. We are not only a literary nation, but also we consider ourselves a storytelling nation because of the many folk tales that were told on dark winter days in the old times to pass the time. These folk tales were later collected and written down. They can be quite dark, and many involve ghosts, elves, and trolls that Icelanders believed were hidden all around them in the nature. I feel privileged to have grown up with stories all around me and have traces of them around me still. My grandfather told me that he had seen an elf woman, and in my garden now I have an elf rock that is not to be messed with, and also a big elf city around my church in the city. In the picture, you can see the most beautiful mountain in Iceland, in my opinion. This is my mountain from my youth, and it was said that there used to be a troll hag who sat there and threw big rocks at our church. I will end with a few pictures of rocks and cliffs that are believed to be trolls that have turned into stones. So if you visit Iceland someday, it is interesting to look for them. Question. Oh.
við verðum að stopp.
Yeah, okay.
Did you want to show more images, Ima?
No.
That was such a wonderful presentation. I mean, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, it's really lovely that we are traveling to a country which is so steeped in storytelling. So let's see, a lot of questions here, but maybe first question, Priyanshi was going on asking about how you had the echo effect. And there's a lot of discussion happening among the children, whether there's some device that is creating it, or I think Shubhangi was saying that no, it seems to be another person who is creating that noise. So tell us how the echo is happening.
I could say that I was a witch, but this is my friend, Birta. And she was the echo, and also the sound of Búkolla coming near and near.
Yeah, that was beautiful. The way both of you did, that was beautiful.
Usually the kids are the echo.
Before I go on to the questions of the children, I want to ask, because there's so many glaciers, and we hear about climate change and the melting of glaciers, and you said that glaciers are ice that don't melt. So do you have a lot of glaciers melting in Iceland?
Yes, it's terrible. All the Icelanders, we are so fond of our glaciers. They are a treasure to us, and we are just devastating that they are getting smaller and smaller on one that is not there anymore. Yes. So it's we are very worried about that.
So children, I'm sure you've read about that, about climate change and how the glaciers are melting. Of course, we are suffering another aspect of climate change with all these frequent natural disaster and frequent weather patterns. And Iceland is also. So I hope each of us tries to reduce our carbon footprint. I hope all of you try to cycle as much as you can, reduce your use of air conditioners, and do whatever little you can to reduce your impact on the environment. Okay, Jyoti has been asking, or from Jyoti's account, which is your favorite novel?
Wow, that is a big question. Well, one of the novel. Are you talking about for kids or for grown-ups? Or
I think you can just mention, for kids and in general also, if there's any other book you would like to mention.
One of the novels that I really like are The Midnight Children by Rushdie. I really like that one. And for children, I think it is The Moomin Trolls by Tove Jansson. Finnish, by the Finnish author Tove Jansson.
Okay, so let's see. I think Priyanka had wanted to see who's making the sound, so she has seen that. Santosh is asking, is the midnight sun and northern lights visible every day? And there was some debate about whether it is rare or not rare. I think the children are discussing. So you can tell a little about that.
Yeah, well, the midnight sun, you can see it when it's clear sky, which is not always the case in Iceland. But the northern lights you can see, in the summer, of course, not in the winter. And the northern lights you can see when it's cold and a bit still, but you can't count on them. Many, they come and ask us, when do the northern lights come? But we can't switch them on.
Of course, if you go and stay with Ima, you can see it from her window.
Yes, then you can come to me and I will show you.
Okay, hann er að reyna að tryggja þetta.
Yes, I think probably that is Lipsita from Ullas Muduli's account, who's asking, are the northern lights nature made or electrical?
They are nature made. Yeah, it's something to do with the solar wind and the magnetic field of the Earth, but it's a bit complicated to explain.
But I think you mentioned that the visibility reduces if there are a lot of street lights around. So if there is no lights around, then you can see it better, right?
Yes. So most of the people, they go out into the country and to see them. They don't stay in Reykjavik, but it's possible to see them there also.
So Priyanka is asking if there are flowers in Iceland.
Yes, there are many flowers in Iceland. If you can see them, they are so small. Most of them are very small, but very precious.
So, children, even in the Himalayas, you have flowers, So it's not that, where you have ice, you don't have flowers, because it's not always ice there in a lot of land. She mentioned, I think one of you wrote about that. So there's, you imagine Iceland, so it is not always everywhere there's ice. There's a lot of greenery there. There are many places that are green some of the year, at some months of the year, and then full of ice in other months. So it's like that.
That is why many are surprised when they come to Iceland and it's green, and they say, why is this Iceland? Why is this not Greenland?
That is why you joked, about Greenland and Iceland.
Yes.
Yes. So Priyanka had asked also about Santa Claus, but I think you mentioned about the 13 trolls, right?
Yes.
So you don't really have Santa Claus, but
we have our Christmas trolls now have followed the fashion, and they sometimes dress in white and red clothes, but they are still the Christmas trolls. They are not Santa Claus.
But I wanted to ask, you said they come with gifts for 13 days. So do both children get gifts on all 13 days?
Yes. They put their shoes in the window, at the windowsill, and they get a small present every night. But if they try to stay awake and try to catch the Christmas trolls, or are just naughty children, they get a potato.
Well, I wish I was a child in Iceland and I got 13 presents every Christmas. So, and I will not try to know. I don't want a potato. I want a nice present.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is again Priyanka's question about what is the language in Iceland?
It's called Íslenska, and that is what Búkolla was using when she said "Taktu hár úr hala mínum." And it's a language that is very difficult to learn. It has a lot of grammar, like German.
Icelandic?
Icelandic, yeah. Yes, I forgot to say. In English, it's Icelandic.
So there is a question from Shubhangi about what is the time in Iceland now?
It's 4:30.
4:30. So you're like 4.5 hours, 5.5 hours behind us. 5.5 hours.
And it's getting quite dark now.
Yeah. So Subrajit was also asking about the same thing. Let's see. What other questions are there? About your first story. So I'm not sure, maybe I think he's not asking about the first story, maybe the first story that you told as a storyteller.
Oh, the first story. Well, the first story, that is a difficult question. But I think at least Búkolla is certainly one of the first stories that I told without reading it. And it's one of my favorite. I've told it through the years. But probably the first story I told to my favorite cow.
I love that. Yes. Okay. Emma, you know about the story about the cows that type?
The cows that
Type? That type?
the
No?
type.
Yeah.
No, but I think I recall.
That's an interesting story. That's an interesting story.
My
Okay.
cow didn't do that.
Okay. Subhrajit is asking, are trolls, do trolls survive now?
Well, you never know. Sometimes foreigners say that Icelanders believe in anything and everything. But I think that most of us have stopped believing in trolls. We don't know. Maybe they are there just in their caves because they don't like the electronic lights. Could be. But we are more sensitive to the elves now. We are still respectful of rocks that we believe that elves live in.
There were questions about your favorite food. I was trying to see who asked that. Rabindra, your favorite food, what do you like eating?
Well, the food from India is, I like it very much. But yes.
You have Indian food in Iceland?
Yes, we can prepare it, not as well as you do, of course, but there are some restaurants. But I really like the food from India, but also I would say lasagna.
Aha. Okay. I think, in fact, there was this question from Santosh about your favorite Indian food.
Já. Bíddu, en sósan að þessi hérna, hann dottinn út, frosinn. Á ég að gera eitthvað við það?
Nei, bíddu bara. Það er hann sem ég
Ætli þessi komin inn á? Netusósan sem ég finnst svo góð. Já, það frá? Nei, ekki. Það?
Já, ég man ekki hvað sósan.
Hann ekki.
Mens að þú syndaðum kannski steinin ef þú getur séð þetta. Kannski getur þú, hvað segir hann?
Please wait.
Please wait, já. En kannski getur hinn séð þig.
En þá myndi hann segja mér að ég gæti svarað, það ekki?
Já, en ég gæti verið bara handað út, en þú kannski, ef þú alveg.
Þú myndir ekki segja mér það þá?
Nei, hann er.
Þú heyrir þig.
Líka, ef ég.
Can you hear me? Can I answer?
Prøv að sýna steinin á mér.
Yes, okay. Well, I am no specialist. The only thing I can remember the name of is, of course, tikka masala, but I really like many discs, but maybe not too spicy.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I think there was some problem with my internet.
Okay.
But I think we are good. I think more or less. So, Santosh, you were asking about what happened to me. You know, this Icelandic witch. She made me disappear.
Yes.
I really believe in trolls now. She told you that she is a witch. She made me disappear. I didn't know what happened to me. This is the first time it's happened.
But I want to share something. If you come to Iceland, You should look for the trolls in the rocks and the cliffs. I wanted to show you something very, very interesting. Last time I went up on a mountain, I found this little rock. Do you know what I saw? I saw this. Oh, can you see it? So, look out for the trolls. They are everywhere. Maybe not so big, but they are there.
I think you can tell us. The last question I'll take is from Sanvi, I think, about the food in Iceland.
Yeah. Well, the food that we are famous for is because it's so famously horrifying, I think. Because, for example, the shark. It's something that you have to be very brave to taste, because the smell is not good and the taste, well, some people just love it. But I just tasted a little bit. But there is a lot of old food that people used to eat in the olden days, and they are salty or sour because they didn't have refrigerator, and so they try to preserve it by putting them in putting them in salt or but I don't like them very much, so not now.
Okay.
Yeah. So also, sorry, the lamb. I like the lamb. Our lamb meat is very good because our sheep, they have this one summer, the lambs, this one wonderful summer that they are completely free, and they go up into the mountains and eat berries or whatever, so they taste really nice.
So I think we'll still take a couple of questions. Let's see. The festival celebrated in Iceland. I think you mentioned about Christmas.
Yes, and the Easter, and also, yeah, and also we have these small festivals. We have been thought a nation that has a lot of days that we are celebrating something. Like we are celebrating the old food, the old ways, Þorrablót we call it. But also we are celebrating, the first day of summer, of course, we celebrate that. That is really important to us. And also we have a day when we eat a lot of salty meat, and of course the National Day. So and I think that there is a lot of festivals because people needed that in the olden days, where everything was a bit difficult and cold, and so.
So Priyanka is asking if I'm wearing blue and white because of the Iceland flag, but then I should have something red also, which I'm missing.
You could have a red tie.
Yeah, I missed that. Okay. So PK Chinara was asking about reindeer. If you want to say anything about reindeers.
Well, unfortunately, I grew up in the western part of the country, and now I am in the southwest corner of the country, and the reindeers are mostly in the eastern part. But I have been told that in the olden days, reindeers were everywhere in Iceland. But when the population grew and there were more houses and roads, they went to the eastern parts. But I really I don't think that I have seen them live, because they are mostly up in the mountain. But they go. People can sometimes see them on the road, and it is something that you treasure when you are just traveling around the country or something. You don't live there, and you see a reindeer. That is something that you don't forget.
Okay, yes. Your favorite place in Iceland? Jyoti is asking.
Probably the place where I grew up, in Borgarfjörður. I think that it is very beautiful, and my farm is very special also because sometimes it has 2 rivers on each side, and sometimes they flood, and sometimes I had my private ocean when I was little, and I was just in awe of this sudden ocean that came overnight. And then, but I was not happy when my dog floated away on a little iceberg. I was not happy about that. We had to row to get it back.
You had your own private ocean.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. What's the temperature? Priyanka is asking, what's the temperature now? So you can tell us the maximum and minimum, maybe around these days.
Yeah, these days, because of the changes, as you were talking about, we have a very strange weather now. It has been very cold, 7 degrees below, and then it's suddenly 8 degrees above 0. So it's just very strange, and it's not good for the nature or the animals. Now,
I can imagine. I mean,
yeah,
they're not used to these extremes, this variation, and a lot of fluctuation. Yeah,
yeah,
that's happening now as well.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Ima has not been to India. There was a question about that, but she loves Indian food. So we have to get Ima and Bertie to India. Let's hope to have opportunities soon. Thank you so much, Ima. It was wonderful having you.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you do some Indian dance next time we meet.
Ooh, yes.
And so thank you, everyone. See you soon. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock again for Rabibar Gopabar. But as I said once again, please share this video so that your friends get to see and to listen to such wonderful. Hopefully, now you know what you can do. If you feel that they're scary, you can use these stories to scare your friends also, right?
Yes.
You can do that. So share these stories with your friends if you like them. Share these stories with your friends if you don't like them also. In either case. So hope you have a great night.
You
See you.
too.
Yeah.
Bye.